Hello and welcome to a new episode of Cattitude. Today I was browsing LinkedIn and I noticed a posting by Gökhan Doğru, a Turkish translator who also has his own newsletter. And this time his newsletter is about choosing the best cat tool. One of the things Gökhan says that makes a cat tool good is a feature called predictive typing based on MT results. Well, Cattitude doesn't have predictive typing based on MT results. I think it has predictive typing based on something better. But for this, it's important to know a bit more about the philosophy behind Cattitude. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you, and I see some translations have already been filled in, and I don't want that. So let me just get rid of those first. Let me do that just really quickly on another screen. Clickety click, clickety click, clickety click. 1, 2, 3. And I've just removed them from the database manually. And if I now press F5, they're gone. Yeah, this makes it much easier to demonstrate what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a title called Vigor for a very good client of ours called Bohemia Interactive. You may know them from the most realistic army simulation in the world called Arma 3. Vigor is another title by them. The in-game has not been localized to Dutch, but we do translate the marketing texts selling this game for them. For this, it's important to know, by the way, that all references to in-game items, in-game features, bundles, packages, packs, etc., they all stay in English and Dutch because, translating them to Dutch while they're actually in English in-game would make things really confusing for gamers. What kind of words actually need predictive typing? You obviously don't want this feature for every single word you're about to type. For that, the computer would have to know exactly what you're going to type. And if a computer would be able to know that, if a computer were able to know that, you wouldn't need predictive typing in the first place because everything would be a perfect match, right? So that means that if a computer tries to predict every single word you're going to type, it will often get things wrong. And that's something you don't want. So you've got to dose predictive typing a little. So how do you dose it? Which words really matter? Which words are generally long? And which words generally need predictive typing? I think we're talking about terminology. And terminology plays a very important role in Cattitude. I'll make a different video about that. But basically, Cattitude's philosophy when it comes to terminology is very different from other cat tools. Because in other cat tools, you just translate, and then at the very end, you start your quality assurance feature, and then you spend like 1 or 2 hours correcting everything you did wrong. And the thing is, when you do that, you find mistakes that are built upon other mistakes that are built upon other mistakes. So you get these kind of chain reactions, and repairing all of this generally takes a long time. And that's not needed because I think quality assurance is not something that should come afterwards. I think quality assurance is something that should be done continuously on the fly while you are translating. This will make things much more consistent and it will force you to be more consistent. And it also makes sure that you cannot make mistakes that build upon other mistakes. Because before you can build upon other mistakes, those mistakes have already been corrected. So that being said, if you use Cattitude, it's very important to define your terms very rigorously. And that's the assumption predictive typing in Cattitude is based on. So if you want to use Cattitude, you got to support this philosophy because else this is not going to be the tool for you. So here is the first segment called Brotherhood of Soulpack. This stays untranslated and I could just, here is a Dutch machine translation, but we don't want this into Dutch. We want this to stay in English. So I could just press Ctrl right to copy the source to the target. That's one way to handle this, but that wouldn't enable me to demonstrate this great predictive typing feature, right? You see that Brotherhood of Soulpack has also been defined as a term. You can see it here. And currently it's orange because the term is not in the target segment, indicating a problem. Now, if I type B, there you go. You see the term appearing in small letters and in lowercase. And I can just choose this term, or I can choose just B if I wanted to type another word. But that's not what we want. We want actually the name of the package. It's in lowercase, but once I press enter, the case is converted automatically based upon the case of the term as it has been defined in the terminology database. There we go. This is good. The next segment is pretty long. The machine translation appears rather quickly. It takes a bit more time to find all the terms and all the matches. And this is mainly because Cattitude digs much deeper into your memory than other tools. The disadvantage of this is that it sometimes takes a while before all terms and matches appear. The advantage of this is that you will get far more matches, especially long segments. And I'm talking about perfect matches here. And that, in the end, will save you much more time. So I could just, start translating this whole segment. But that's not what I'm going to do. Basically, because that would take too much time. It would be very boring for you. But we see that most terms are already in the machine translation. There are a few terms in orange that are not there. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste from a different file because we already did this translation. There we go. This is the correct translation of the first sentence. Then comes the translation of the second sentence. There we go. Then it goes on. Dit pakket bevat Berserkers waarin is good. This is correct. Berserkers waarin helm. Just get rid of a space through Remington MK1 plus 7 munitie. I could actually define this as a term, but let's just leave it. 41 plus 280 is correct. And then here, that's also correct. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, and here is the problem, because Tiger Gray, it should be untranslated, but it has been machine translated to Dutch. That's something we don't want. So I just select this word. You see it's orange in the terminology list, meaning that there is an issue. It means the term should be there, but it isn't there. If I now press T, I can just choose Tiger Gray. Same for S here, Spuitzand. It has been machine translated to Dutch. We want this to stay. We want this to stay untranslated, so we want this to read spray sand. I press S. I can now choose between Svalin, spray sand, spray tan, or nothing, and I choose spray sand. There we go. It takes a while, and as you can see, the case is once more automatically converted to whatever I have defined in the terminology database. And here's the last one, Borstelrood. Same issue. We want this to be brush red. There we go. And the rest is correct, I think. Yeah. I could check this really thoroughly, but that would be boring for you. So let's just assume everything is correct now. It looks good. And I press Ctrl down to go to the next sentence. Okay. Let's just copy this one. Show. There we go. Let me just copy this. How did we translate this? We translated this like this. That looks good. Then we get an exact match, I guess. There we go. And then there is the last. The new legacy season is begonnen. This is correct. Because the term season is in both lowercase and uppercase in this segment, Cattitude is a bit confused. It's basically asking me, what do you want? Do you want lowercase? Do you want uppercase? Which is it? So this requires some human involvement. I just press Ctrl I because the current Dutch is correct. And I just press Ctrl down. Ctrl I is to ignore terminology issues. And then I press Ctrl down and this translation is done. It's as easy as that. I press export. And then when I go to my directory, let me see, where is it? Let me see, where is it? Where is it? I hope it's here. There we go. That's it. And you don't see that because I should drag it to this screen. There you go. That's it. So that's basically how predictive typing works. I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comment section below. Happy translating and see you next time.